You want to find love. You want to find your person. But there's so many times in your life that you need to have faith to make certain decisions in your life to get the chance to meet them. So today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about fulfillment. A lot of us think that, finding our person, they're going to be our other half, right? And that's not what it's about. And this is something that I really want you to take in and be open, okay? It's about feeling fulfilled in yourself, right? Completely. And you don't need them to complete you. And so this is a huge part of something that I learned throughout the years. So many times I was going into relationships looking for them to complete me. Like that whole, you complete me. Like I'm thinking Dr. Evil or like Jerry Maguire. I don't know if you guys know these movies. But it's like, no, that's not what it's about. Because when you go into these relationships thinking, okay, you are going to complete me, you are going to be disappointed, okay? You are setting yourself up for failure. It's about you feeling completely fulfilled in your own skin, in your own body and soul, and you don't need anybody. You just want to share your life with somebody. And when you meet that person, they're going to add value to your life. They're not going to take anything away from you, right? And you're not going to look for and have these expectations for them to complete you and to give you something that they can't. You see what I mean? But being self-fulfilled, that takes courage. And I'm going to tell you and explain to you why, okay? I went to this amazing, empowering conference, the Funnel Hacking Live, with, Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. And he was amazing. And it's so inspiring. And one of the books that he loves and talks about is Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay, he was saying, and I've read that book before, which was actually recommended by my brother, Gabe, who is like one of my role models, and I love him so much. He's just a badass, and he recommended that book to me a few years ago. And after reading that book, it pushed me to pursue one of my biggest passions that I've always had in my life. But I was so scared to go for it. Okay, have you ever had that feeling where you want to do something so badly with your life and you're just scared and you don't? Okay, so that's where I was a few years ago. And that book by Napoleon Hill, right, I read on a plane ride flying over to Tenerife. And I remember feeling inspired and saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to go for it. So it's interesting how now I go to this conference 3 weeks ago and I hear Russell Brunson talking and explaining when you are given a choice, right? You have a feeling comes over you. There's two things that can happen. You either have fear that makes you feel like, okay, that's that idea. Oh my gosh, look at that idea that I just had. Am I going to go for it or am I not going to go for it? And fear dictates what's going to happen for you. Okay, there's those type of people, right? And those type of people are called the drifted. Okay, and there's the other type of people, it's called the driven, where they get an idea and they say, hell yeah, I'm going for it, and they move forward with faith. Okay, so this is something that I'm explaining to you because you want to find love. You want to find your person. But there's so many times in your life that you need to have faith to make certain decisions in your life to get the chance to meet them. Okay, so let's think about this. A lot of you are in a situation where maybe you're not fully happy in your job? Let's just say that. Let's think about this. Are you not happy with your job? Or are you not happy with something, a relationship that's going on in your life right now? Are you back and forth with an ex? Are they haunting you and you keep going back and forth? Think about why you are stuck in those situations, okay? This is where I was a few years ago, okay, before I met my husband, and making that decision to change what is comfortable, right? Quotation marks, comfortable. It does take a good amount of faith because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what is on the other side of it. Okay? But I am pushing you. This episode is so about pushing you forward. Pushing you out of your own way. If you are one of the drifted and fear is always guiding you here and these certain decisions that you have to make, I am pushing you to be aware of that. Call yourself out and be like, oh shit. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am totally paralyzed with fear. And I'm not moving from my situation because I am scared shitless. Because I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so I hope that this story of mine will inspire your ass to move, to change, to listen to yourself, to that gut feeling, because that gut feeling comes from somewhere, a higher power. I don't know what you believe in. God. I believe in God, so I will say the grace of God. Those moments in my life where I was like, I feel something. I feel I should do something here. And there's a moment where you have a decision to make, okay? So this happened to me when I was out of college, okay? I was studied to be a teacher, and I had a psychology degree, and I was certified to teach English. Anyway, my first job out of university, I went and got an assistant teaching job at a private school down in Miami. And I was so excited because I got a job, right? I was like, yay! I get this job. I work so hard. Like, I have an incredible work ethic. Just coming from my parents being like these, oh my gosh, my parents, immigrant parents, you know what I mean? Like, they're always like, you always go 100 million%, right? So that's what I was. I did a great job as an assistant, teacher's assistant. Anyway, that year, okay, I was, sexually harassed by one of the other teachers. Now, understand, in that moment, in that time when that was happening, I didn't know that was harassment. Like, I didn't even know, like, when he would talk to me and said, hey, you're wearing a thong underwear. That's what he said to me. I was like, what? You're not wearing panties. I could tell. I'm like, what are you and I'm like so disturbed by why is he talking to me like this, right? But I am so young, so naive. I was not prepared for any of that. He's an engaged man. So my mind, the way I grew up, I had my dad and my mom. They were like, my dad was such an incredible male figure. Never in my wildest dream, my dad would never talk like that, right? And my brother, he was just amazing. Like, I just never heard like that kind of talk, right? Like, I don't know, I just wasn't ready and expecting that, right? Put me in that situation right now. I put that guy in his place. I would report it, but at that time, this is like before the Me Too movement, and I really don't know how to respond to it. I'm just like so surprised, right? I think I even like laughed nervously, and I don't know if you do that too, but sometimes I get nervous and I laugh a little bit. Either way, he then tells me another time, like, he wants to have sex with me. Like, he's like, I don't want a relationship. I'm engaged and I already have a relationship, but I would have sex with you. Something like, I would hook up with you and we, and I said, no. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that. I told him I'm not interested. I never reported, never told the principal. I never did anything. I just kind of shot him down and I said, I'm not interested, and left it at that, right? Um, and then I'm in a situation where I'm really getting paid pennies, like really low amount. I'm with this weirdo creepo hanging around, which I'm so uncomfortable with. He literally is like right next door to my room. So I'm super grossed out by him. I'm really uncomfortable the way he looks at me. And I'm really just all about the children. And these kids are like, third graders and fourth graders. And I'm just like so excited to, help them, right? But it's exhausting. It's a lot. And I'm getting paid real like low. So I talked to the principal towards the end of the year and I said I would like to have a raise for the next upcoming year. Okay, listen to this. She says, no, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I'm like, oh, okay. But like, I've been doing this and that and all these responsibilities. And she's like, no, you should just move from where you're living. And at the time I was living in Sunset Place in South Miami. And she knew where I was living. And she goes, you shouldn't live there. You should live in this other place, which is a lot more affordable. And that's it. And I'm thinking, what? Like, this lady's telling me where I should live now? And she's up in my business like this? Like, this is crazy. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that, right? And she's like, well, you're not going to get a raise, so that's it. And I said, okay, well, I'm so sorry, but this isn't going to work for me. I actually can't make that work for me, So I have to leave. And she's like, oh, where are you going to go? And I'm like, well, I don't know where I'm going to go. And she's like, well, let me tell you what, I'm not going to give you a reference when you're applying for other schools. And I said, what? I go, but I've been amazing this year. You've always said this and all the teachers. And she's like, yeah, I don't care, but I don't want to help you get another job. I was like, oh, wow. Like, I don't know. I just was like, my little idealistic world totally blew up. I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. But you know what? That was a moment where I was faced with making a decision and I could have fear dictate my next move. Okay, I am not going to move. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to change my job. I'm going to stay here. Right? Or I was going to follow that feeling of saying, okay, I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to move forward with faith that I need to get the hell out of here. Well, guess what? I went with faith. And I cannot tell you enough how amazing that decision was. Because yes, it was scary. But what I ended up finding right after was getting this incredible position as a seventh grade teacher in a prestigious private school, like one of the best. The principal was amazing because she was just like, she was this older lady. And at the interview, she's like, okay, so what are you going to do? What are you thinking of how you would teach? And I was like, let me just be myself, right? Like, let me just be straight with her. And I'm like, I love music. I would bring in my guitar and do music days and help the seventh graders learn their novels by doing music days. And she just looks at me. She's like, that's different. That's very different. I was like, oh my God, this lady, I'm not going to get this job. And she's like, you know what? I like you. And I think you're going to do a great job. You got the job. I go, stop it. The point of this story, okay, listen to me, and I really hope it inspires you, is that being yourself, being fearless, being like, you know what, bitches? Sorry, that other lady that tried to scare me. I'm not even saying sorry. Fuck that. No, that was shitty of her. Like, I'm sorry, but that really was. And why do I keep saying sorry? No, this is bullshit. That other lady at the other school tried to hold me down, tried to scare me to stay. And I said, bye-bye. I said fucking bye-bye. None of that shit. Like, I feel that what I want you to take from this story, okay? If you are in a situation with an ex or guys that you're dating or in your job that you have this feeling, this gut feeling, like, get the fuck out. I want you to be fucking fearless. Like, I need you to know that there's a feeling there for a reason, okay? Do not settle for the bullshit that so many of us have settled for, because you are worthy of so much more. I cannot tell you how amazing those next 5 years of my life teaching at that amazing school, crazy prestigious. I remember getting the award for like Best Teacher of the Year award. Like I was such a big hit. It was amazing. And none of those things would have happened if I just stayed where I was because I was scared, right? And not only that, like the other lesson with this freaking story is that when I interviewed with that lady, the new principal at the prestigious badass school, I could have, just, stayed in my shell, not shown her who I really was, right? Played the game and try to be professional. I'm not so freaking professional if you've realized that, right? Well, I can be, but you know what I mean, right? I showed up and said my crazy ass ideas. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I'd play games with them and throw like stuffed animals to learn grammar. Like, I was like, this is who I am. I'm freaking fun. I feel like kids can learn by having fun and bringing out my guitar and all this. She loved it. And that's how I want you to show up when you're meeting new people, because the more authentic you are, the more you just like, here I am, this is me. And if that's your person that you're meant to be with, they're going to go freaking crazy and absolutely love you. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so different from anything I've ever heard. And I'm all in. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, this was an interview with the principal for a job. The point applies. Do you see what I mean? Showing up authentically. So many of my clients always say this when they go through the coaching programs that I have. They always say, oh my gosh, my life has changed not only with men, but also with my relationships with people and my job and my coworkers, because so much of this is about believing in yourself. It's about believing in that gut feeling that you have. Saying to yourself, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel right. I need to do something about it. And having the courage to say, yeah, I am going to be moving fucking forward with faith. Oh my gosh. Like I really hope that this is resonating. I hope that you're like, yes, I want to hear your stories. I want to hear what is scaring you to not move. Not to, move in your job, with your exes or whatever guys that you're dating and chatting with and wasting your life with. Tell me. Because maybe this is the moment when you're like, oh shit, I was called out and it's time I have a little faith in you. Like, have a little faith in you. Because you're so much stronger than you think. You really are. And not only that, there's something absolutely amazing waiting for you. And I am here to help you find it. I don't think we all hear it enough. I think what we're hearing every freaking day is play the game, put your head down, just walk, just keep going through the motions, living life on fucking autopilot. And I need to wake you up. And I need to say, no more. Fuck that. It is time to say, you know what? I'm going to listen to that fucking little feeling I have. And I am going to go for it. What is it in your life that you want to go for? Be fucking fearless. Do it. You will not regret it. And I really want to hear about it. I really do. So make sure that you let me know. Send me an email. Look at the links below. And I just want to connect with you and hear your story. I care so much. This is my mission, for you to find your happily ever after. And it begins with you. You want to find the crazy love story, right? You have to be self-fulfilled. You need to go for all of your big dreams, all of your passions, fearlessly. Have that faith in you. Have that faith in the universe. God does have your back. Like, I just hope that you take action. Because as much as you could hear it and be like, oh my God, I'm so inspired, but do something. Do it. Stop thinking about it. Stop planning it. Like, literally, it is that simple. It's time to say bye-bye to probably a lot of people in your life that are not serving you, or a job that's not serving you. It is time to freaking be fearless. All right. I have loved talking to you today. And remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. I'll see you next time. Bye.